Hi everybody, my name is Jonas Ellerhauge, and in this little video I would like to demonstrate to you something that I've been working on for the past little over 2 years. It's a product or project, if you like, called Observe. It's developed and owned by Grundmai, or Grundmai, which is a Dutch engineering company. Once you log in, you have this dashboard that will take you to different modules of the system. And the module that I've been working on is this one over here. Kaart is the Dutch word for map. And it has been built using other components such as OpenLayers and GeoServer. So on the client side we have OpenLayers providing the mapping functionality, and on the server side we have GeoServer, which provides the services that we are showing in the map. And in fact, some of the layers in the map do not come from the backend directly from Observe, but from other third-party services on the internet, open services. So the background you see now is from the National Cadastre of the Netherlands. Some of the controls you see here are standard OpenLayer controls, but we have actually built up an entire JavaScript library, an entire GIS web viewer, which is short called AOP, and it's a JavaScript library that builds on top of OpenLayers but adds functionality to it. This pan zoom bar that you see here is pretty much as you know it from other mapping applications. Here is a layer switcher, but the layer switcher is actually slightly more advanced than the standard layer switch that you find in OpenLayers. It has a endless recursive grouping structure here, or folder structure if you like. This layer is not available yet until we zoom in a bit further. Now there you have it, the trees. And you can switch to other types. Now this is pretty basic mapping functionality, of course. Let's try some more advanced stuff. You see here you have two columns called respectively select and snap. So that determines whether you can actually select these objects and whether you can snap to them if you need to draw something. Up here is a panel showing buttons for tools, and these tools are modular. You can plug them in or not, and they're only loaded on request. I'll get back to the structure of this JavaScript library, but the core library is loaded with the page, and then the various tools are loaded once you click on them. Here's an editing tool. Let's say that we want to add something. We want to add grass, and the editing tool was started. And here is a dialog that provides added functionality. Now, as you may see, there is snapping going on here. The way that works is that you may know that there are different types of web services. There are WFS services and WMS services. And the actual image you see in the map is the VMS service, which is just raster data from the server. But the snapping takes place to the WFS service, which is invisible, but it's there, so the trees are there to making it possible to snap. I can turn the snapping on and off over here. or actually I can't turn it off there, but I can, this button shows whether the snapping is available. Now if we zoom out a little bit, the snapping becomes unavailable. You see how the color changed. Let's zoom back in, and there you are. Now, let's say that I would abandon this editing process. There are other tools. Here is a selection tool where you can choose to select with various shapes, and the list of objects will show up at the bottom of the page, and they are highlighted when I hover over them. This entire framework with these buttons is something that I have coded myself into the AOP library. I will show you later how the configuration works. You provide a JSON configuration file when you load the page, and that configuration file determines which tools are loaded, whether or not they are shown in this panel button, and exactly how each tool will be configured, because of course each tool also has various configuration options. Here's a permalink that will provide you a link to this map. Back and forth. In addition to the GIS and mapping functionality, the AOP library also contains a variety of graphical user interface widgets, GUI widgets if you like. I already mentioned the panel here with buttons in it. This duck that expands and collapses here. You can also expand and collapse each element in the duck. And the way that this pen and zoom bar moves forth and back is all controlled by the AOP library, adjusted each time that there is a change in the map. May I add also that these buttons are all designed by me personally through Adobe Fireworks. It is easy to configure buttons that look different. I've tried to adapt the look to the overall visual design of this application, but if you would use this library in another application, it would only be a question of changing the CSS style sheets, and you would have completely different buttons that would fit your needs. That was the end of this short introduction. I will stay tuned for other videos that will demonstrate other special features of this application.